This will be a complete overview of how to put in your first extension. You will learn how to use our drawing mat. You'll learn how to use our resin applicator. You're going to learn how to use our silicone pad to roll the bonds properly. And you'll also learn how we break it down into simple steps that at the end of each step, there'll be a pause for you to rewatch it before going on to the next step. Once you finish module one, it's time to move on to module two, where you're going to learn how to put in your first row of extensions. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take, this is the resin, and you never want to have the gun turned on before you have a resin stick in it. So I'm going to put the resin stick into the resin applicator. And there's a little button here on the bottom. I will turn it on. And you can leave this on all day. So while this is heating up, what I'm going to do is from the top of her ear, I'm coming right around the head shape. So now while I'm working, my arm is parallel to the ground. And I have her head only slightly forward. You don't want it like if you're cutting a bob and you push the head all the way forward. You don't want it that far forward. You want it just a little bit forward. I'm going to start using our number 4, which is one of the darker colors that was included. And just a little ribbon. I'll take that off. And I only want to start with about a third of the hair. So I'm just going to grab what I feel like is a third, and I'm just laying it on top of the drawing mat. And I'm going to take the hair that is left over. I'm just going to take a rubber band and put a rubber band around it. Now, when you go to put the drawing mat on, just make sure that where it says Extend USA is facing you. And I'm going to take this hair and just kind of fan it out a little bit in my hands when I place it on here. And I'm making it maybe 2 inches past the drawing mat. And I just take the top and I push the top back down. And because it's a new resin applicator, it's going to drip probably for the first 2 sticks, and then it stops dripping, and then you could do a couple full heads with 1 stick of resin. I'm going to be showing you an overview. I'm just going to be putting in a couple of extensions, and then I'm going to break down how you do this. And the proper way to hold it is between your thumb and your first finger, your thumb and your first finger, these 2 fingers inside. So you're creating like the roof of a house, and then you're going to roll it over so it forms a 45-degree angle. That way, when I roll it, it's going to make the top of the bond look like the top of an American football. Then I will rock my left hand up, and when I roll it, it will make the bottom of the bond form like the bottom of an American football. So what we're looking for is a shiny football shape extension. I want to make sure when I put them in that if I put it too close to the scalp, one, the client's going to have a headache for a couple of days, but you need it so that it can move once you put it in. And when I'm working, I'm slightly leaning back as opposed to leaning forward. So the reason that I lean back is that it drops my shoulders and it's going to keep me from having a backache. And you don't want to lean forward. It's better if you're leaning slightly back looking at your work. You want to be very relaxed when you're working. When I do my live model, you'll be able to see the posture that I use, the height that I work from. It'll make a lot more sense, the things that I'm explaining right now. When I got the mannequin, the first thing I did was I shampooed it, I conditioned it, I blew dry it, and then I just kind of rough cut the ends off. The reason that I did that is when you're working on a live client, you want to make sure that you shampoo them, you condition them, you blow dry them, you get them as smooth as you can so there's not a bunch of little flyaway hairs. And make sure that you use a sulfite-free shampoo or a clarifying shampoo so that you remove any oil that might be on their hair. And before I started, I took my silicone pad and I washed it and then I dried it. So now I'm going to put in the first extension. I take my clip. I want to take about a 1/4 of an inch square section and I place the clip about inch and a half below that parting. And the section I took is just below where the head shape, I see where the head shape bends because I don't want it where if a person is sleeping, it's right on that bone. So I'm right below that bone, ear to ear. We included in your kit a extension and I took some of the resin and I put it on the tip just to give you an idea of about how much hair you want to start using for practice. As you get better, you'll probably put in twice as much of this on the bottom row, and as you go further up the head, it'll go to this size, and if you do the top of the head, it'll probably go to half of this hair. This is something you can't do with any other extension company. With our system, you have total control over the amount of hair that's going into your client. So I'm going to pull down with my right hand. I place it into my left. I pull down with my right. I place it into my left. I pull down with my right. I place it into my left. I'm just doing this until it feels like the same amount of hair that was in that extension that was included in the kit. When I hold it, I don't want to hold it so tight that it flattens that extension. I want to make sure that there's no little hairs out of place. So I'm going to hold it so that it keeps its round shape. Just get that little excess off. Now I'm going to roll it around the tip of the applicator and give it a little, just a slight squeeze. It's not like a water gun. When I squeeze the trigger, it lowers the resin into the heating chamber and then it comes out. So if it doesn't come out immediately. Now roll it around. I'm going to pick it up with that left hand. I re-grab with my right. I place it under. I re-grab with my left hand. I pull down onto the silicone pad. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I rock my left hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's my first extension. When you're starting off, you want to go no closer than a 1/2 an inch. It's okay to put the extension in further from the scalp. As you perfect it, you'll start putting them in closer to the scalp. So again, I pull down with my right, I put it into my left, I pull down with my right, I put it into my left, I pull down with my right, I put it into my left, take one more, pull down, put it into my left, I blunt cut the tip, I place it 1/4 of an inch under the tip of the resin applicator, I roll it around, I pick it up with my left, I re-grab with the right, I now pull down onto the silicone pad. Seeing that the resin has come through, I fold it. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I rock my left hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's my second extension. Once you learn how to put in one correctly, it's just doing it over and over and over again. So I pull down with my right, I put it into my left, pull down with my right, I put it into my left, pull down with my right, I put it into my left. I'm going to blunt and cut the tip. Place it 1/4 of an inch under the tip of the resin applicator. I roll it around, making sure that I have resin all the way around the tip of it. Pick it up with my left hand, re-grab with my right. I place it under. I pull down. I see that the resin comes through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rock my hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these 3 and I'm going to break down the steps to simplify how you do this.